Hi, N.A.R.C.Troopers. I want to talk to you about something today that I had a conversation with a friend of mine, and she said we were sitting out on the patio in my backyard, and that's the go-to place these days that's safe so you can socially distance. And she said, it seems like everybody these days is just calling everybody a narcissist. And it's such a popular term. Like, she said, don't you think that all these people that are being accused of that's a mistake, that they're not really narcissists? And I said, I do think that that's right, but that doesn't mean that some people aren't the serious, like malignant, toxic type of narcissist that's real. Just because the term is used too liberally and excessively, and it's trending, and everybody thinks everybody's a narcissist, and there's a narcissist, and there's a narcissist, and there's a billion articles over narcissism that's flooded the internet. That does not mean that there are not narcissists. And it doesn't mean that those narcissists aren't like seriously disturbed people with maladaptive behaviors, and that they're dysregulated, and that there's different kinds of narcissists on a spectrum. It exists that way. It's confusing. Everybody has a little bit of narcissism in them, but only the ones with narcissistic personality disorder qualify as the cluster B type, that kind of fit with the whole antisocial personality disorder. And it gets lumped together, the cluster B disorders, with sociopaths and psychopaths and all of that. I mean, it is real. And when a person has one of those cluster B personality disorders, there's characteristics that separate them from your regular person that just has a little bit of narcissism in their personality. There's tests you can take online. There's a list that you can read and just check the boxes to see which ones that the person that you're wondering about has. I'm not suggesting that we all like self-diagnose or try to pretend that we have credentials to determine these things ourselves. But I am saying, if you do suspect this, if you think that there's something deficient or missing in the person that you're thinking about, then there's so much reading about this. You can educate yourself about it and learn about it, so that you can have the information that you need to be able to make the call on what the situation is. I'll tell you what the main parts of it are. If there's a person with a cluster B, antisocial personality disorder, narcissist, sociopath, or psychopath, what they have in common is that they have no emotional empathy. They are incapable of feeling what normal people feel. They have no intimacy. They don't have anxiety. They don't have fear. They don't know how to love or be loved. And they don't feel guilt. They don't feel responsibility, accountability, or culpability in any way. They never accept blame for anything. It's always someone else's fault. They are incapable of connecting with other people on a level that is deep and bonding. They have no loyalty. They have no morals. They have no concept of right or wrong, or if they do have some sketchy concept of it, they do not live by it. They reject moral principles and feel like there is no right or wrong. It's all just, what I need to do to feel good. They are impulsive. They are reckless. You should look up the list. There's a long list of things, and you could be narcissistic and just be full of yourself and think you're all that and have a lot of vanity and be selfish and that kind of stuff, but still be able to be a functioning human being with like real feelings of, I'm feeling someone else's pain, and you have compassion for other people. Then you're not a person with a personality disorder. So let's not throw that word around so liberally, so freely, trying to see narcissists everywhere. It's almost like a trope or some stereotype or a joke, like, there's narcissists everywhere. I see narcissists, and instead of I see dead people, and stuff like that. Let's not make it like that, because it's something very serious, and and uh, the the people who have been the target and who are at the receiving end of a person who has these disorders, this person is going to have a very hard time with recovery, piecing their life back together after this has happened to them. So let's keep that in mind, and be supportive of them if they tell you that they're pretty sure that this person is not feeling the things that normal people feel, and that they can tick off all those boxes on the checklist, then it's probably a pretty good conclusion to assume that they're legitimately impaired. And I think education is the key. So it's kind of like one of my pet peeves. People get tired of hearing me talk about narcissists and trying to, like, they doubt it. There's misinformation about it. They don't believe you when you tell them, yeah, it's a real mental health issue that is very serious and life-altering for everybody involved with them. And we should not go around and recklessly assign that label to people when we don't know. That's the message that I would like to say. So let's keep that in mind and keep our judgments. Maybe let's not have so many judgments without having the information and the what we need to back it up, because you don't want to be affixing labels to people when you don't really know. But mental illness, it's a growing problem in this country, along with, I can make a list for you of other growing problems right now, but I don't want to discount this one. Sure, we need to fix so many things, but this needs to be on the list too, mental health. And under mental health comes personality disorders, like antisocial personality disorders, cluster B, narcissistic, sociopathic, psychopathic personality disorders. It's real. It's a real illness. It has a real impact. And we need to acknowledge that. And we need to understand it and educate ourselves about it, because listen, folks, it seems like it's increasing. All right, so let's all stand up for what's right. If you see something, say something. Speak up if you see injustice, any kind of social injustice. Let's speak up. Let's do the right thing. Try to get leaders who can help us move our country in the right direction, away from all the horrible things that we're seeing on the news with racism and just these horrible things that just break your heart to see that anyone could be treated that way. We should not be, here's my final message. We should not see color. We should not see age. Oh, that's a big one. Not just because I'm getting older, but I mean, seriously, ageism is a thing. We shouldn't see color. We shouldn't see age. We shouldn't pay attention to money so much and profit and all of that. People over profit. Yeah, that's a much better way to go. The rest of the world seems to get that better than we do here in this country. And then finally, don't see narcissists either everywhere you look. Be sure you know what they are. Be sure. So don't see color, don't see age, don't focus on money, and don't see narcissists everywhere. Make sure that's what you're dealing with. And the final tip for you, when you know, you go. Yeah, that's the final message. When you know, you go. When you know that they are personality disordered, you have to go. And if you go, you have to stay gone. And it's hard not to break no contact. It's hard not to have your addictive brain hang on to them. I know all about that. But you have to, or you're not going to be okay. And we all want to be okay. We want to have everything be better than the way it is today. This is a rough time. This is the end of May 2020. And it's like the whole country is in turmoil for many reasons. And change is on the horizon. It's coming. It has to. Things can't go back the way they were. I don't know why we would want them to. Yeah, there were some conveniences. I miss movies. I miss restaurants. I miss concerts and crowd events. But you have to focus on the things that need improvement and go from there. So let's keep that in mind. Try to be our best selves. Make our country the best country. And think about the whole narcissist thing that I shared with you tonight. Okay? Bye-bye. Much love.